Hello 11th class. So in this class we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter 7, data handling, lecture number 1. In this class you will learn that what are data types and how to store variables in these data types. So data types are the classification or the categorization of the data items. They represent a kind of value which determines what operation can be performed on that data. So in data type you can see in this figure that there are numbers, list, string, dictionary, tuples, etc. These are the data types. Okay. So these are just few. We have also some more data types. So these are the built-in core data type, that is numbers, string, list, tuple and dictionary. So one by one we will discuss each of them. First is numbers. So what is numbers? As we discussed in the previous topic, that is literals. Okay, the numbers, that is integer, octal, hexadecimal, floating and the complex also. Here also in data type the number is there that are used to store the numeric values in Python. So in this, it has three types, that is integer, floating point and the complex number. Integers are the signed value or the unsigned value. Signed value means they have both positive and the negative sign. Next is Boolean. Boolean store only two values, either true or false. Now next is floating point number that store the value in fraction part. For example 2.5, 3.6. Okay. Next is complex number. So when the term is written in this way, a plus bi. So this is your complex number. Okay. So convert this str function is used to convert a value to string. So here if I am writing this str in false, then it will convert this false in string. So it will give you the false. Okay. So let's discuss these numbers with the help of the Python ideally. Okay, so I'm just opening your Python ideally. So in this, you know that if I am writing this, so it store the value print a. So print a will give you the integer value and it will show you the result 6. So if I am going to write this in floating point number, for example 6.5, so it will give you print a, then it will give you the floating point value, that is 6.5. Same way we also do with the complex number. For example, if I am writing a is equal to 0.0 plus 4.5 j. So it is a complex number. When you print the value of c, then it will give you 4.5j because 0 is a real part that show nothing. Okay. And for example, if d is equal to 1.1 plus 3.4j. Okay. And if you want to add these two value, then what is the result? That is, the value is c plus d. So it will give you in this way, it will add the number and give the result in same real part with an imaginary part. Okay. In the complex number, it will give you the result. Okay. And if you want to see the real part, then you have to write c dot real. So it will give you the real part of this c. Okay. This c. Because I am writing c dot real. And if you want to write d dot real, then it will give you 1.1. Same way with the imaginary part. If I am write d dot img, then it will give you the imaginary part, that is 3.4. Okay. So I hope this thing is clear now. So these are the numbers. Now next is strings. So string that is in that store the value in inverted comma or in single quote, that is your string. So a string is a sequence of characters and each character can be individually accessed using its index. So in string, index is very important. You people know that how this index work. Okay. So the index, that is also sometimes called the subscript, is the numbered position of a letter in the string. This index, it has a numbered position. Okay. It has a forward direction as well as in backward direction. Okay. So in Python, indices that begin with the 0 onward in the forward direction and -1, -2, -3 in the backward direction. Okay. So, so this part is your forward indexing. This is the string computer, and the second one, this is your backward. Okay. This is your backward indexing. So here the forward indexing starts with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 till the last number, and the backward indexing start from the back position and it starts with the -1. Okay, the -1, -2, -3. How this will work? For example, I am writing A is equal to computer. Okay, now it is in string. So if I want to write the value C, if I want to access the value C, then how will I write? A0? Then it will give you C. If I am going to write A -1, then it will give you R. Okay, same A2, it will give you M, because the indexing, forward indexing starts with 0. Now if I am write A3, then it will give you P. Same way, if I am going to write A -2, then it will give you E. Same way, if I am going to write -3, then it will give you small t. Okay, so this is the indexing of a string. Now next is your list. So the list that represent a list of comma separated values of any data type between the square brackets. So whatever the thing is in this square brackets is known as the list, and every part, every item is separated by with the comma. For example, if I am going to write A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 5. So this is a list. And if you want to print the value of A, then it will also give you the result in the form of the list. So these big brick brackets are the symbol of the list, that this is a list. Okay, so this is a list data type. So these are the example. You can store the number as well as string, and you can also take all the numbers in string. So next is tuples. So tuples are also separated by the comma. The only difference is that in tuples you have to use this parenthesis. Okay, so this parenthesis is the symbol that show it is a tuple data type. Okay, and how will you show? For example, A is equal to 1. Okay, and if I am going to print the value of A, then it will give you 1, 2, 3, 4 within parenthesis. So this show it is a tuple. So this is a tuple. Next is dictionary. So the dictionary is an unordered set of comma separated by the key value pairs within curly braces. So no two keys can be same. So in curly bracket, the thing is dictionary is in always in curly bracket, and it follows by a key value pair. So this first one, this A, E, I, O, U, these are the keys, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are the values of these key. Okay, and no two keys can be same in any dictionary. So if you want to write this, for example, V is equal to curly bracket, now small a, that is equal to 1, B, this B is equal to, sorry, here you have to use the colon symbol. Okay, so here 2. So this is the result. Now if you want to write the value of V, then it will give you the result. Okay, so this is your dictionary. So next topic is mutable and the immutable type. So this topic is very important. You have to know that mutable and immutable type, that which data type belong to the mutable and which data type not belong to the mutable and which not belong to the immutable. Okay, so you have to classify these mutable and the immutable type. So the immutable type, here the term immutable will come. This is immutable. Okay, this is immutable. So immutable type, the immutable types are those that can never change their value in place. Okay, means the value cannot be changed is called the immutable type. And these are integers, floating point numbers. Next is Boolean, string and tuples. So these 5 data type doesn't change their value at anyhow. Okay. For example, in this the value P has the value 5, Q has the value P, R has the value 5. Now P is 10, R is 7 and Q is equal to R. That will give you 5. Okay, this result belong to the this category. Okay, so these value will show here. And if you want to print the value of P, then it will just give you the result 10 only. Okay, it will give you the result 10 only. So I am just showing you the result on Python ideally. Okay, I'm just close it and run it again. So here the value of P is 5, then Q is P, then R is 5. Okay, and if you want to print the value of what? P, Q and R. So it will give you 5, 5, 5. Now the value of P has changed, that is 10, R that is equal to 7 and Q is equal to R. Okay, now check the result. So result has changed now, 10, 7, 5, 10, 7, 7. But when you check the address of the P, address of 5 by using this ID object, so it will give you the object memory address, this one. And if you want to check the result of P, then it will give you the different address. Okay, because now P is storing 10, so it will give you the result of 10. And if you check the result of 10, so again it will show you the same. Okay, so this variable, this 5 is referencing to the P variable, that's why it show the memory ID this. Now P has changed the value 10, and if you are checking the ID of P, so it will give you the same memory address as the 10, as the value 10 holds. So the 10 and the P variable holding the same memory address. Again, if you want to write this P15, then check the ID of P now, so it is changed. Okay, and if you check the ID of 15 also, so it will give you the same, means P and 15 holding the same address. So it is clear now that this P is a referencing variable only that contain the value. So this value has some address. Okay, so this P can change their value, but this integer value that cannot change the value. Okay, so this 5 is an integer value, it cannot change the value, it cannot change its memory address. And this P is a variable only, that is a container, so it can change the value. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So this is your immutable type. Next is your mutable type. So mutable type are those whose value can be changed in a place. Okay, so there are 3 types of mutable, that is list, dictionaries and the sets. So in the coming chapter we will briefly explain these topics. Okay, means in your book there are separate chapter on list, dictionary, tuples. Okay, so we will read the chapter briefly there. Okay, next is variable internal. So variable internal shows first that Python is an object-oriented language. Okay, so Python calls every entity that store any value or any type of data as an object. In Python, whatever we are storing, that is a type of object. So a object is an entity that has its certain properties and its behavior. So all data or values are referred to as object in Python. Similarly, we can say that a variable is also an object that refers to a variable. So Python object has a three key attributes. That first one is the type of an object. It returns the type of object. Next is the value of an object. Using print statement, we can check the value of the object. Next is the ID of an object. It refers to the memory location of the object. Okay, the ID that you people already seen that how this ID will work. Okay, so here I am showing you the first is the type of the object. For example, this A store the value 4. Okay, now this A store the value 5, and if you want to check its type, so type A, it will give you the int type. Okay, next if I am going to write A in A variable and now I am checking the type, that which type of object is this, so it will give you the str. Clear? Again I am writing this 5.6 and I just want to check that what is the type of A now, so it will give you the float type. Okay, so by this way you can see, you can check any type of the object, that this object belong to which type. Okay, which data type. Next is the value of the object. uh, so for checking the value that what this variable contain, you can check it by using the print statement. So now currently this A variable hold 5.6, that's why it give you the result 5.6. And the ID of the object, you already know what is the ID of this. Okay, and same way you can check the ID of 5.6, so it will also give you the same. No, again it is changed now. This float variable contain a different value and this A contain the different value. Okay, so again I am just want to check the value ID of 5 now. So it will give you this 3.4. Okay, now for example if I am write this and ID of A, so this ID of A is this now. Okay, so it will give you the different result. I hope this is clear now. So you have to just revise the topic. This is your homework. Revise your classwork and you have to make notes. If you enjoy the video, then you have to like and subscribe the channel. So thank you and have a nice day.